Hey everyone, welcome back. And in this video, let's just go ahead and discuss about the CSS typography with Tailwind, which is also an important thing because most of the part of a website is actually text. So let's start with the regular H1 tag over here. And if you have not observed it yet, when you include Tailwind, you're going to see that you automatically lose the ability of nice font sizes, which the browser provides, which is not exactly very nice, but you can see here h1 h2 h3 all are of same font size and same font weight and so on. So the reason for this is because Tailwind wants you to explicitly style them according to your layouts or whatever your need is, and it provides you with a rich set of classes to do that. So font family, starting with font family, I'm just going to cover a few important ones. You can see that you can specify a particular font directly with whatever is available inside of Tailwind, and of course you can add more fonts later down the line as well with configuration, which we'll talk about a bit later in the advanced section. But mostly you would not be setting or hovering, changing fonts on hovering, right? Fonts once set for a website is usually set. So we're going to be moving on to font size, which is super important, and this is what you will be using all the time. So you can see that Tailwind gives you the variants from extra small all the way up to 9XL, which is 8 rems, so 0.75 rems to 8 rems, right, which is the default system. So usually you would obviously have something like text 4XL for a heading, then maybe text 3XL for an H2 and so on, right? But it's up to you. So let's start with a single H1. Let's say the quick brown fox sentence, whatever that is, because it includes all the alphabets, but I don't know the exact sentence. So specifying a text font size actually increases the size of the thing, which is awesome, right? You need that. The font style is something like you can set it to italic or not italic, depending on what you want. Again, just you have to write a single keyword. Font weight allows you to set a weight. That means how thick the font should be. So you can see the equivalence of this is actually in the font weight of CSS. And this would only work well if you have imported the correct fonts with the correct weights. Most of the fonts sometimes don't have all the variants, so the browser somehow just tries to make up for that. So make sure, if you are looking at custom fonts, make sure you have imported the correct weights of the font. So for example, take a look here. If I do font extra light, over here you're going to see that this is much more thin compared to what the default was, right? And if I say font extra bold, this becomes much more thicker than what it was, right? So depending on what kind of heading you have, you might want extra bold at some places and extra light at other places. So again, this is something you can pick up with the help of Tailwind. Then of course you have basic utilities like text aligning as center. So if you give a text center to this, it will center your text instead of just writing another part of CSS manually. So that all sorts of alignments and stuff is there. With text color, you can see that it specifies text white and all the colors which you have already seen in the current color palette. So that is awesome. So you can just pick up any sort of style and you're going to see the moment you apply it, it turns the style into that color. Similarly, if we move over to text decoration, you're going to see this kind of is a new feature, how you customize the text decoration color in Tailwind CSS3. So if I just copy, let's say this one over here and paste it right here, you see it will underline it, and let me just give this a gray of 800. It will underline it and it will underline it nicely, right? You can see the cues in the sentence don't get cut off, so that looks good. And on top of this, you can also specify the style of the decoration. So you can see you have a bunch of styles. You can have a double decoration, you can have a solid decoration which is the default style. If you opt in into double, you can see you get something like this. You can also have a wavy style, which is, something like if you want to show a grammatical mistake or a sentence, something like that, you can do that. That's also pretty awesome. You can have a dashed decoration, dotted decoration, and so on. So it's almost like whatever you can do with a border kind of thing, you can do over here. And similarly, like, this can be applied on hover. So that's pretty awesome as well. So if I hover over this, you can see it changes its style. So that's awesome. So these utilities over here is pretty much a lot of what you would need along the way: the font size, the type, the decoration, the colors, the alignment, the thickness, and basically how you want it to present can be done with all of these utilities in Tailwind CSS. I'm going to keep this video short and until this point only. That's all for this one. I'm going to see you in the next video really soon.